Well, morning everyone. It's a bit cold, windy and cloudy today. The plan was going to be to paint the front of the roof of the van and possibly the bumper, but I think I might have to wait another day or so for the weather to pick up a bit. I did manage to get myself a strap for the exhaust, so I can do that in a minute and bolt the exhaust back up again. It's hanging a bit low to the floor at the moment. That shouldn't take 10 minutes, and then I suppose I can get up and actually prep it ready for paint. The interesting thing is how I'm actually going to get up there to paint it. Now I've got two choices really. I can either put a ladder either side and put a plank across, or what I think is the more sensible option is take the bonnet off and stand on here to do it, which will make me about the right height. So I need to have a look and see what I can stand on if I take the bonnet off. So, okay, well, we've got bonnet slam panel there, which looks quite solid. We've got the top up. Okay, so I've got that slam panel there, which is pretty solid. I can stand on there. A few cobwebs under here where it's not been moved for a while. I can stand on that, I think, if I take the grill off, so I don't stand on that and break it. I've got to take the grill off to paint the bumper anyway, so I think I'll strip the bonnet and the grill off, and then I can stand on there and hopefully reach the roof to prep it and paint it. We'll see how it goes. So first job, bonnet off. Right, well, it's not perfect. To do with it another foot higher. Gets me up front of it and rub down above the windscreen, but it's not quite as high as I want to be. Really don't want to put a plank across it. I'll have a think about it for a minute. Well, I'm going to have a go at sanding it and see how far I can get, and then I'll work the rest out. Okay, so it's all rubbed down. Just got scotch across the top of the windscreen where I can't get the sanding pad in, but it turns out the roof is perfectly solid enough to kneel on to do the sanding. So that worked. It is spitting with rain slightly, so I can't do an awful lot more. I will start prepping the front bumper in a minute, but the first thing I'm going to do is fit that exhaust strap. Right, got myself a nice coffee. Just been down the car parts shop and bought a couple of exhaust clamps. I'm going to jack the van up as high as I can on the suspension, so that I can get underneath, and then I'm going to cut off one of the old exhaust clamps because it's rotten anyway, and the old strap is going to have to be cut off with an angle grinder. That's absolutely rusted solid. and then I'll see what I can do with the new strap and some clamps, and I'll show you what's going on. Right, going up as high as I can, and this is the problem. This exhaust, so if you can see, there's a bracket. It's up there. Can't really get a camera to it. There's the bracket, and that is supposed to be attached to the top of the exhaust there. Now, also, this doesn't. It's quite heavy to push up. Might have to put the jack underneath it. This is supposed to line up with that cutout, and it doesn't. And there's a very, very rusty bracket there. So I'm going to chop this bracket off, see if I can possibly wiggle this back enough that it'll line up here. If not, I'll just cut a little bit more out of here so it goes up into place. It's a lot of weight on it just being held on one strap, but unfortunately that's the way it's designed. So I'll chop the bracket off, cut the old spring hanger off up there, the old exhaust hanger off. There it is. Cut that off, and then see where I go from there. Okay, so exhaust all sorted. It's now up where it should be, and nice and tight. I chopped the old rusty exhaust clamps off and put two nice new clamps on, one there, and I'll be able to see because it's got no space now, but it's not going to focus. But there's a nice new strap up there holding it up, so it's all rock solid. I couldn't get it to fit quite within the slot, so I've just extended the slot up a bit, so it's fine. I mean, it's so solid it's not going to bounce up to there anyway, but the exhaust is more solid now and it's not hitting the bodywork, which it was before. When you started it up, it was banging off the bodywork. Now it's not, because it's rock solid. Right, sun's come out a little bit, but it still looks a bit rainy. Time to start prepping the front end. So I'm going to take some of the panels off. I'm not taking the front bumper off. It's a big job, it's paid the back side. So I'm just going to take off what little panels I can around it and then mask up so I don't touch the original paintwork with the sander. Go from there. I said I was going to leave the bottom on, but it turned out to be reasonably simple to get off. Just dozens of little bolts and screws, and it'll be a lot easier to paint and it'll look a lot nicer. All painted on the edges and everything. So, and now I can prep it and paint it in the workshop if the weather's lovely. So, yeah, ready. That's a bit about it for today. I'll start painting tomorrow. Thanks for watching, and see you again hopefully.